Hi guys, it's Amatiko, and today I want to talk about this one time that I used to work for a receptionist type of job. Not type of job, but I was a receptionist in a church. And I want to talk about how I was almost attacked. And I want to laugh halfway through that because I know a lot of memes about YouTubers that say, "Oh, I was almost attacked," and then it was something completely misinterpreted. But yes, I'm going to tell my version and my story. So yeah, so I was a receptionist around the time I was about 15, 16, and I was young because in the church, I worked in a church. Let me just say that now. And they they were like the type of, I don't know, like when it came to hiring people, they wanted like young people, they wanted to give you opportunities and shit like that. So I was one of them. One of the reasons I got the job was because I know previously my sister worked there, and then also aside from that, my dad was a member of the church. He helped out a lot. He was just like a part of a whole bunch of like shit that they fucking did. Um, so I also laugh because when I tell people I used to work in a church and they look at how I dress, they're just like, "Oh, really?" And yeah, but I worked in a church and I worked about 2 years there. And my job, I basically just had to answer the phone. Obviously, I had to answer the door, make sure who comes in, who comes out, um, and do some paperwork, some stupid shit like that. And I liked it, sort of. But then the part that I didn't like was the part where there was this one guy. Let's call him John for the sake of the video, because I don't want to put out anybody's name. So John was a criminal. He had gone in and out of jail. He started doing drugs. I think he started doing drugs in between his jail sentences and whatnot. But yeah, he did drugs, and I think he was also an alcoholic. He would come in to the church and he would call on the phone all the time. And since I had to answer the phone, it was my job to like transfer him to my boss because my boss was a priest and he was the one that was always giving out donations. So this guy would call and be like, "Hey, can you transfer me to your boss?" I'm not gonna say his name, so I'm just gonna call him Boss Man. Like, "Hey, transfer me to Boss Man," and I'd be like, "Oh, all right." And it got to the point where my boss was giving me so much money that he was spending it on drugs, and my boss just didn't want to help him anymore because why would you help somebody continue on with an addiction? So my boss told me ignore his calls, don't answer the door for him, and I did that. And that's when he started getting aggressive. And this guy was always aggressive. John was like even before I worked there, he was always trying to break into the place. And there was this one time he did break in, and he ended up injuring my boss. And my boss had to wear like, what was it, like I think a back cast or something like that. And they had to go to, he was in the hospital for a while, and then he still kept coming back. You think after attacking someone you'd have some type of like mindset not to come back, but yeah, he came back, and there were times he'd be really aggressive, and he'd call me on the phone, and I'd be like, "Oh, he's not here," and he'd call so much, and I'd always have to say he's not here or he doesn't live here anymore. That he'd get angry, and then he'd yell at me, and I'd be like, "Hey, dude, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger for big guns upstairs." But no, so he started getting aggressive, and then he'd come to the church. I worked in the rectory of the church, so he'd come to the rectory, and he would like. There was this one time. This is the time where like I almost got attacked. Oh, attacked. I was working on a Sunday, and usually I'm alone in the rectory whenever I'm working. Like the only times I'm not alone are like the weekends, but like Sunday, like there's like certain like time gaps where like some people come in and have meetings. Now this, I was all sort of alone at this point because there was like two other guys, but they were like in the kitchen, but I was the only one in the rectory. And so he started ringing the doorbell, and he started screaming and banging on the door. He's like, "I know you're in there." He's like, "I'm gonna break my way in. I'm gonna get all of you." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I was like, "What the hell?" And then I didn't want to like call my boss because he didn't want anything to do with this situation. He didn't want, like, he was done with it. And I'm like, "Oh shit." Like, I didn't know who to go to. And then this one guy that was in the kitchen comes because he hears a bang, and he's like, "Why aren't you answering the door?" I'm like, "Cause it's a criminal. He's trying to kill us." No, but no, I was just like, "Oh, it's John," and he's like, "Oh, he's back at it again." I'm like, "Again?" Because I wasn't really aware of him and like his previous like criminal offenses and break-ins. So he's standing there, and he even like he locks the door. The door's like automatically locked, but there's like an extra lock where you just slide it. He did that, and then he walked away, and then the guy kept banging, and then he's like really angry, and he's just like swearing and cussing through the door and trying to break in and saying, "Oh, when he gets in, he's gonna come in and like, oh, I'm gonna hurt all of you. Y'all are getting me real angry now." I'm just like, "Oh my god, like, can you go away?" And eventually he did leave, and I was like, "Oh, thank God." And then he came back, and I'm like freaking out, and then I'm freaking out because I have to answer the door, and I can't answer the door to him, but then there's other people that come in for like confessions with some of the priests, and some people come in for meetings. So then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm really hoping nobody comes in at this moment because I'm going to get my ass handed to me by like a 60-year-old man. And luckily for me, nobody came in, but he was really trying to break in, and like the only reason he couldn't make it in is because we had like a solid door, like it's like wood and metal, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like really hard to break in. Not to mention there were like 3 different locks just to lock it, and then there were 2 doors. There was like a front door, like a door before you come into the main door. So a lot of people were angry with my boss because he would not report this guy. He just wouldn't call the police, and everybody was angry because he's not the only one that lives there. There were like other priests that lived there. There were friars, everything like that, and I was 15. I'm like 15, 16 at the time. They're like, "You have a little girl working the damn phone, the door, and you and I, like, you're putting my life at risk." So people got angry, and then one of the friars, you guys, like friar basically, they're like, a lot of people call them monks for some, well, not for some reason, I know why, but they're like for example, if you ever read Romeo and Juliet, they got married through a like not a priest, it was like a friar. So I'm sorry. So I was really close with one of them. Like he was like a father figure to me. Like he was cool. And like out of all of them, like you think religious people like would try to pressure you, like, oh, you need to stop wearing black and this and that. Him, I mean, they all do, but he didn't. He was like, I mean, he told me he wasn't okay with, like, he wasn't okay with some of the things I did, but he's like, oh, I'm not gonna stop you. I know, you're young and shit. So I loved him. He was like a father to me, and he was trying to convince me to quit at one point because he's like, oh, this is too dangerous for you. And I'm like, I can handle it, even though I'm like freaking out on the inside. My boss man wouldn't report this guy. He wouldn't do anything, and there was there was a lot of times he would try to like go in through the back. There were like 5 entrances. That was the weirdest thing. I don't know why a rectory needed 5 entrances and exits. It was only 1 floor. It wasn't that big. He tried to break in through the back. No, but he tried to break in through the back like before I even worked there. Like I think probably when my sister worked there. And then oh my god, he tried following me. That was, oh my god. There was one time he just barged in, and I was so fucking scared because my what do you call it? Not my boss. I had like 2 bosses, but my main boss is always there, but he's never like really watching me. But then there's this other lady. She would leave before I made it to work. Like she'd clock out, so I don't really see her much. But this one time she was still there. He barged his way in, and then I got the heat for it. Like, why are you letting this man come in? He's not allowed in here. I could fire you. And then I'm just like, I'm fucking 16. What the fuck? This guy's like 40. I'm like, how, like if you don't want this guy coming in, maybe you should hire someone, like maybe you shouldn't make the fucking age limit like 15 and up, like seriously. Hey, another thing, you can't. Where the fuck is the door, people? Like I can't even, like, every time someone rings the doorbell, I have to literally open the door just to see who it is. Like drill a fucking hole in that wall, in that door. But yeah, no, I got the heat for it, and I was angry. But I was like, you know what, I do work here, whatever. So he barged his way in, and then it was horrible. But yeah, no. So yeah, he tried to attack my boss, and then at one time he was angry that, oh, nobody's answering the door for me. I'm gonna hurt all of you when I get in. Thankfully he didn't. Thankfully I wasn't attacked. But that's the story of how I almost sort of got attacked. in my old job. Cough. Yeah. So I'm gonna end it here. I am going to I'm gonna try and, you know, push myself to, videotape more. I couldn't really post much in the past because I didn't really have my camera with me. I was lending it to my friend because I know she had to film some stuff for her class. But I have my camera back, so I should be filming a lot more. I should. I'm probably gonna post another video after this one. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. If you guys like it, leave a fucking, what is it, like in the comments. And if you don't like it, I guess leave a thumbs up or something. I mean, a thumbs down. I don't know. Do whatever. But if you also do like it, go ahead and subscribe. Or, I'm gonna end it because I'm really awkward right now, and I'm not good at ending videos. Now I'm just rambling on. So bye.